Okay, so I feel like I've already talked about this in another video, but it was very short and I want to make this a video on its own because it's very important, okay? And this has to do with seesaw starts when you're learning starts from a stop. So if you watch a lot of these videos on YouTube, the way it works is there'll be somebody in a parking lot and their friend or family's teaching them how to do starts from a stop. And the common, like most of these videos are all the same. They'll say, like, give a little bit of gas and a little bit of clutch. So give a little bit of gas, little bit of clutch, little bit of gas, little bit of clutch. Okay? And this is, the seesaw start where you're going up and down. One pedal goes down, one pedal goes up. Okay? People try to explain it like, the gas is attached to the clutch with the string. As the gas goes down, the clutch comes up. And if you watch a lot of these videos, people are having a lot of trouble learning just the basics of how to get the car moving from a stop. And it has to do with these seesaw starts, okay? And my advice is don't bother learning seesaw starts. Now, the reason for this is if we take these videos, for example, of giving a little bit of gas and a little bit of clutch, there's no technical explanation involved, and you don't really understand what you're doing to get the car to move, except that somehow you're giving a little bit of gas, and by bringing your clutch up, somehow the car is moving, okay? And what happens is maybe you do it a couple of times. I give a little bit of gas, a little bit of clutch, comes up, car stalls, and then what happens? This is the only way I'm taught. So what I do is I give a little more gas, a little more clutch, or maybe I move my feet faster. So I try to do it faster because somewhere in between there, the clutch grabbed and the car started to move. So that's all I know, is that somewhere in between doing this fast or doing it slow, or somewhere in that seesaw motion, I got the car to move, okay? But I have no idea what in that seesaw motion actually made the car move, except for the motion itself. So this is a real issue once you start getting out on the road, because the only thing that you have for backup is either doing it faster or doing it slower, okay? And that's the only thing in between you getting the car moving and you stalling the car out, is somehow just getting this motion right. And the right way to learn starts from a stop with a manual transmission is first you learn how to move the car around with just the clutch pedal. So you're just bringing the clutch pedal up to the bite point, whether you pivot on your heel or you use your whole leg, you're just using the clutch pedal and you're taking your gas foot, your left foot, right foot, and you're putting it back, and you're just using your left foot on the clutch pedal to work that clutch and get used to the bite point. Bring the clutch pedal up to bite point, let the car roll, press the clutch back in. Bring the clutch pedal up to bite point, let the car roll, press the clutch back in. This is so important, and if you spend time just doing this, usually everything else comes a lot faster. If you spend time, learning seesaw starts and it's not working out, you're going to be doing those seesaw starts for weeks, maybe months, and thinking, that you're a bad driver and you're not getting it down because you haven't been taught how to, technically work that clutch pedal to your advantage and how to find that bite point. So when you see these posts or videos where people are saying just give a little bit of gas, a little bit of clutch, you know, those aren't the right way to do it. That's not the way in any of my videos I've shown it. And if you watch any of these driving instructor videos, no one does that seesaw starts. It's always give a little bit of clutch or give a little bit of gas and then bring up clutch to bite point. There's some technical explanation behind it. It's just not giving gas and bringing clutch up. Also, if you learn to use your clutch pedal first, it takes a little longer in the beginning. Like the first 30 minutes can be taken up by just finding the bite point and learning how to move the car with the bite point, with the clutch pedal, okay? But if you do that first and learn how to bring up your clutch to bite point, soon as you start adding even a little bit of gas at bite point, the car is going to start to move immediately. So when you get out into traffic and it's a stressful situation, maybe you're panicking, you know that bring up the clutch to bite point, then give a little bit of gas, hold that clutch at bite point, and the car is going to start to roll. And you know that's going to work because you can do it in a parking lot repeatedly. Clutch up to bite, give a little bit of gas, okay? Then the other advantage is once you start to get to hills, you will automatically be clutching before you give gas, okay? And as I explained in the hill start video, the big issue is when people learn how to give gas first and then bring up the clutch, those are the people that usually have the issues on the hills, because as you go to give gas, you take your foot off the brake on the hill, go to give gas, the car starts to roll back immediately. By the time you bring up your clutch to bite point, the car is rolling back really fast. If you learn how to clutch up to bite point first, then move your right foot from brake to gas, the clutch is already at the bite point. So as soon as you start giving gas, car's going to want to pull forward. Okay, and all you got to do is work your foot along that bite point, maybe give a little more or less to get the car to move faster or do what you want it to do. Okay, so that's the advantage of learning how to clutch up first and then give gas. Those people who have slow starts, their trouble is slow starts from a stop. Usually they are the same people who learn to give gas and then slowly bring up their clutch to bite point. Okay, so they're giving gas first and slowly bringing up the clutch to bite point, and all that time the car is not moving. So the advantage again is if you're flicking your foot up to bite point or even under the bite point, soon as you give gas, you can flick your foot up again to bite point and the car is going to start to pull forward without any delay. So all kinds of advantages of first learning how to bring your clutch foot up to bite point and then learning how to give gas, okay? And you're not trying to drive the car around with just the clutch pedal. You're just learning how to bring it to bite point. You're just kind of building this muscle memory where you bring it up to bite point quickly and stop, okay? You're not expecting to drive around like that. One more thing, if you're doing seesaw starts and it's working for you, that's great. I'm not talking crap about your seesaw starts. I mean, they're working for you, so continue to do them. What I was just pointing out is if you watch these videos, you can see the obvious issues with most of them where they're trying to teach people seesaw starts and they're stalling over and over. Oh yeah, and there's nothing wrong with stalling. Stalling is fine if you know exactly what the issue is. But that's the problem with seesaw starts. A lot of times you don't know what the issue is except moving your foot faster or slower. You don't know technically what you're supposed to be doing differently except for slower or faster. So that's the issue. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about in this one. So say no to seesaw starts, and friends, don't let friends do SEESAW starts. Friends don't let friends do SEESAW starts.